Hey yo, what is up FPG fam? Further here and welcome back to another Aether Gazer video. In today's video, I think it's about high time I start doing some beginner guides for this game. I've been playing it long enough. I believe I have some decent knowledge to go ahead and provide. So that's what I want to go ahead and start doing moving forward. Furthermore, I believe we're going to be getting a lot of new players joining the game here really soon. Just because Thor's going to be coming out, I think she's going to bring a lot of eyes to the game. We have Flame Tier and then 2.0, I think is going to be bringing even more eyes. And then of course, with the possibility of the PC client coming relatively soon, that's going to be bringing even more eyes. So I think Aether Gazer is going to start getting the attention that it deserves. So I want to have some beginner guides for those new players out for you guys to take a look at, to get a head start and to know exactly what to do when you play the game. So I do hope this video is of some value. I do hope you enjoy, and let me know in the comments down below what else you would like to know about Aether Gazer in detail. Today's video, I'm going to cover the things that you should be doing on an everyday basis. But if there's something that you want me to go more into detail about, please let me know in the comments down below, or something that you need help with that you're confused on. Let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to do a video on it. If it shows enough interest, I'll do a video on it. So thank you guys so much for all the support. And just a few more things before we jump into it. Of course, a massive shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Gamer Subs. If you want anything from Gamer Subs, use the link in the description down below. It takes you right over to the website, peruse their store, take a look at it, see if you see anything of interest, whether that be a waifu shirt, waifu cup, or some Gamer Subs. And if you decide to pick anything up, go ahead and use my code FurtherBeyondGaming at checkout. Gives you 10% off everything in the store, so that way you save, you're not paying full price, and you support the channel so we can do bigger and better things. Thank you guys so much. Also, if you want to support the channel a little bit further and you're waiting for the PC client but you still want to play Aether Gazer on your PC, you can download the BlueStack links that I have in the description down below. That's what I use, and it works phenomenal on BlueStacks. So you can download that link, try it out if you want to give it a shot. So you could try it out and you support the channel. So thank you guys so much for all the support. I do truly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So the first thing that I do when I log in is I go to my guild. If you have not joined a guild, I highly recommend doing so, because you're able to get this material right here to be able to get more resources that are incredibly invaluable for you, to be able to level up your modifiers and to be able to do things within the game. So the enchants for your sigils, to be able to purchase more sigils if need be, to be able to get coins that you're always running out of, level up materials. You get the point, right? This is just a great resource to be able to come to be able to get all of these materials, and they do go on cooldown, so you can refresh this whenever it's available. So this is just an extra resource, because when you're leveling up modifiers, you run out of resources very quickly. You'll find that out very soon, and so you want to make sure you have as many different avenues to get resources as possible, and guilds will allow you to do that. So make sure you join a guild. If you want to try and join my guild, you certainly can. We are running through people every single time, because Lianchi is no joke. They go ahead and filter if you're not being active. So if you want to join my guild, you certainly can. You just have to be active. You can participate in join attack as well. So you want to make sure, and you'll be able to periodically get more resources in your mail whenever we have that available. So guild is incredibly important. Make sure you join one. And once again, you can try and join mine. Now, the next thing after guild is I go over to the shop. I go over to the supply zone, and there's always going to be a free coolant for you to pick up. Obviously, I picked mine up for the day. Make sure you pick that up every single time. You want to make sure you have that free coolant. After you pick up your free coolant, you can come over to the trading zone, and you can see what A rank modifier is available, or even B rank for intel that you can pick up with coins. I always recommend doing this, especially for my free-to-play players, to get more intel to transcend your A rank modifiers. Incredibly important. Make sure you're doing this with your coins, which you can farm up. So make sure you're purchasing those, and then there's always sometimes some leveling up materials that you can purchase. I recommend doing that as well. Just once again, extra resources, always important. Then I go to my limited specials and I take a look to see periodically there will be 5-star sigils that will be in here. I recommend purchasing those as well. You can either use them or you can dismantle them, so that way you have that sigil material to purchase more, or purchase the one that you want, I should say. So I always recommend taking a look here. Also, level up material once again. Sometimes they have that here. So make sure you're doing that. After that, I go over to the event, whatever event's going on, and I just complete whatever I need to complete. This is incredibly important for my free-to-play players and my, of course, beginner players, because the events are an opportunity to get tons of shifting stars. Of course, shifting stars are what you're going to go ahead and use to be able to pull on said banners that are available. And your shifting stars are up here, of course. So you want to make sure that you go over to the event and you complete the event to its entirety to get all the shifting stars that you possibly can. It's free premium currency. Make sure you're doing that. Furthermore, you get additional resources that you're going to need for your modifiers. And like I mentioned, resources, they go quickly. When you're building up multiple modifiers, they go very fast. So you want to have as many resources as possible, as many shifting stars as possible. Make sure you complete these. Not to mention, these events are incredibly fun to do. They're outside of what you would be normally doing on an everyday basis. So take advantage of the events that are going on. And it also gives you opportunity to use modifiers that you don't have. A lot of times you can't get the said modifier that's up drop rate, but in the events you can use them extensively and get a really good feel for them. And it also gives you an idea if you want to pull for them or not. And then you can also, of course, do the plethora of trials that they have for the characters and their outfits. So there's just a lot of opportunity here. And then, of course, they always have the Redeem Center where you can get even more resources that you're going to need. There's always, usually, typically, a free skin that you can get. This is such a great resource for free-to-play players and beginner players. And then for the A-rank modifier, that's, you know, going to be prominent for that event. You can get even more intel for, so you can get them double S and triple S. So this is just very, very good for my free-to-play players, beginner players. Make sure you're doing this event. Don't skip out on it, and keep an eye on when it ends, right? Because a lot of people will forget when it ends, and then they're missing out on resources. Then make sure to use your currency here before the event ends as well, or else it's just going to be null and void. A lot of times I like to hoard these and wait for when I'm building up a modifier. If I'm running out of resources, I can hop in here and gather some more as like an emergency stash. That's something that you can do. It's just a strat, but once again, make sure you just use them all before the event ends. Anyways, moving on from there, after I check out the event, I go over to battle, and then usually the first thing that I go to is Sigils, and then I go ahead and take a look at joint training. Now, joint training is where you're going to get the enchants. You're going to need a lot of enchants. Once again, if you're building up your modifiers, you're trying to min-max them, you need a lot of enchants. They go by very fast. So make sure you're doing this every single day. Come in here, do a couple runs. Make sure you get an S rank in here if you can. Boom, perfect. That's how you can refresh. But if you can't get an S rank, A rank or B rank is fine. But try and get an S rank. Do this and make sure you use your swigs here to get those enchants. Incredibly important. After you do that, my recommendation is come over to Spirit Capture. Spirit Capture you want to do every time it refreshes, which I believe is every 2 days, to get this material right here. This material is going to help you limit break your sigils to 50 and 60. Now, this is incredibly important if you want your modifier to be as strong as they possibly can be, and you use a lot of Spirit Capture. So you want to make sure you're in here every single time it refreshes to grab that material to limit break your sigils. After you do that, you want to come over here and you want to make sure that every single time it refreshes, you're doing your hazard zone cleaning and reoccurring dream. So for my beginner players, the priority, also free-to-play players, but beginner players, priority, Spirit Capture, hazard zone cleaning, reoccurring dream. Make sure you're doing these every single time it refreshes. It is incredibly important. I know I've said that a lot, but it is true. So the Spirit Capture to go ahead and limit break your sigils, hazard zone cleaning to be able to limit break your sigils as well, but to be able to get warp materials also. So if we go to hazard zone rewards, as you can see, I completed it, but this material right here, which we'll go over to the shop here in just a second, is going to give you the ability to get more warp, which I'll show you here in just a second. You have warp material right here, and that's going to allow you to enhance your modifiers even further. This material right here is going to allow you to purchase either reconstructors, which you get reconstructors, which you're going to need a lot of these. You go through these very quickly. If you're limit breaking your modifiers and you're making them stronger, you're going to go through them very fast. So you want to have a lot of these, hoard a bunch of these as much as you can. But this material right here will allow you to purchase more. So let's go over to the shop. If we go over here, and you want to try and max out your hazard zone cleaning so you can get the max material. So as you can see, reconstructor, you can purchase more with that material. Takes a lot, so you're going to need a lot. And then the warp material right here, this is once again going to allow you to warp your modifiers to make them unique to your own account and to make them stronger in their own way, or I should say in your own way. And you get the material right here to be able to purchase these, and you go through these very fast. If you're building up modifiers, especially more than one, you go through these quickly. So you want to make sure you're doing your hazard zone cleaning every single time it's available, maxing it out the best you can, so that way you can get max rewards for those. And then Reoccurring Dream, incredibly important. You want to make sure you're maxing these out. If you're a new player, you want to get to Disordered Dream 2 as quickly as possible, so that way you can get max rewards. If we go over to the point rewards, you can see you can get a lot of shifting stars here as well. This is a great resource for getting even more shifting stars for my free-to-play players, beginner players, and then materials right here. And we'll show what you can get with those. And then this material right here, incredibly important to have, and I'll show you the reason why. So if we go to the redemption shop for the Reoccurring Dream, so the red flower right here is for the transcendence crystals and the star anchor. Many of you may not know, especially my new players, that the transcendence crystals you can get and farm, and this is important to be able to transcend your functors on your modifiers, so that way you can enhance them so they're stronger and get new effects and things of that nature. So transcendence crystals, incredibly important, because without this you would have to get dupes of your functors. That's not always possible, especially for the limited functors for limited S ranks. So you can farm these up and use them to whatever modifier you want. Star anchor to be able to forge your sigils, and then the red flower, I should say orangish greenish flower. I forgot what the name of this is. Anyways, to be able to morphium crystal, there you go. These are important, very important, because you can get enchants. I wouldn't recommend using them on your enchants, because you can get these in other ways that we just showed earlier. Rather, you can use them to enhance or transcend your S rank modifiers. Now, these are modifiers that are in the standard banner, but you have some incredibly strong ones here, and maybe your favorite. So Anubis, you can get the double S, Oceanus, double S. So if you can only pull one copy, that's fine. You can double S them. That's incredible for free. Just doing Reoccurring Dream, your S shoe, your Leviathan. You have your really strong S ranks here, and you know, of course, your favorites, whichever one you use the most, you can go ahead and get them double S for free, right? I mean, that's incredible. Such a great thing for free-to-play players. And you can also get your A rank modifiers to triple S Omega, you know, with these materials if you pulled a couple copies through the event as well, if they're, you know, prominent in that event, like Kingu, for example, right now. So you can go ahead and get them double S, triple S, and you have some very strong modifiers here: Bastet, Kingu, Enlil, Heimdall, Oneroy, Kali, Hermes, like Archaic Oath, Comet. All of these modifiers are strong in their own right. A ranks, do not sleep on them. If you're a new player, I know a lot of games really stress and harp on the S ranks, but in this game, Aether Gazer, A ranks are incredibly strong as well, and they fit on a lot of teams and usually are very complementary to whatever S rank you're using. So you definitely want to make sure that you're double S-ing, triple S-ing, and using your materials on your A ranks to get them built up, to make them stronger, right? So incredibly important. Reoccurring Dream, make sure you're doing this every single time and maxing it out the best way you can. And then of course we have Dimensional Variable. Dimensional Variable is important to do as well, because you get a lot of good rewards from here also by completing this. But if you go to the shop, this is also a great resource for free-to-play players to get more divine factors if you want, more coins, more resources, but also the general 5-star functors. If you're unable to get the Sig functor, a lot of times these general standard 5-star functors are good for the gen zone and for that modifier. So you could always come in here and grab those. So this is important to do, and the dimensional variable lasts for a very long time, so you could take your time with it. You don't have to rush the dimensional variable. So these are the 4 things that I would do every single time that you can, but prioritizing Reoccurring Dream, Hazard Zone, and Spirit Capture. So make sure you're doing those. After that, it's really up to you at that point. I mean, you can go ahead and complete your past grudges, which I do recommend. You get a lot of shifting stars and materials from there. So make sure that you're completing past grudges. And if you're a new player, you have a lot to do. And for my new players, what I would recommend is once you hit, I would say right about here, you're going to have an account check. What I mean by that is you're probably going to have to start leveling up your modifiers and getting them stronger and mid-maxing a little bit once you get to this point. Right here in this past grudge is going to test your account and see where you're at. So this is a good checkpoint. After that, Not too bad. And then as you can see, I have more to complete, but you can see look at all the materials that you can get. All these great materials, all the shifting stars are here for you to go ahead and grab, so that way you can pull, especially with 2.0 coming up. This is an amazing time if you're a new player to hop in and get as many shifting stars as possible. And then from there, what you can do after you take a look at that, you can go over to your modifiers and see which modifiers you need to start building. You need to have at least 2 to 3 teams built up, ready to go for Reoccurring Dream and other events that you're going to be doing. Especially you want to have 2 strong teams, solid teams, at least for Hazard Zone cleaning, and then 3 for Reoccurring Dream. The third team could be, you know, not the most complete for Reoccurring Dream. You can still get it done if you have like 1 really strong modifier, but you know, focus on 1 to 2 modifiers at a time. Don't go over that. So for me right now, my main focus is actually Thor, just getting ready for her, so I'm hoarding a lot of materials. But let's say Thor wasn't coming around, for example, I would probably try to mid-max my Anubis, building up some other modifiers that I'm still working on, and getting them where they need to be, like Heimdall, for example, I still need to go ahead and fix. So, you know, take a look at 1 or 2 modifiers, get them complete, get them done, and then move on to the next ones. So try not to put too much on your plate, because what's going to happen is you're going to run your resources thin, and you're going to find out that none of your modifiers are complete. They're just all competent, and that's not going to get you too far at a certain point. Even though Aether Gazer is for the most part a pretty casual, easy game, there are some checkpoints that if your account is not up to snuff, it's going to show you that for sure. But yeah, that's basically everything that I wanted to go over. Of course, once you start doing all those things, you start using swigs and whatnot, make sure you're claiming your dailies, your weeklies. You could check these as well to see what you need to do and what you need to complete. So it's always good to check that. And make sure you are doing your dailies and weeklies. You get tons of shifting stars from here as well. I shouldn't say ton, but a good amount. Enough to warrant you doing these and getting them done, right? You want to make sure you're doing that every single time. And then of course your battle pass. Make sure you're doing your battle pass. Make sure you're getting those. You can check those as well. If you're new, make sure you're doing your newcomer event. Dang, I have some still. Make sure you're doing your newcomer event. You Omega title song for free, fantastic modifier, a healer, which can be beneficial for you in the game, and then as you can see, resources, shifting stars. Make sure you're doing that. Your level up, daily task. Yeah, make sure you're getting those things done. And then of course, study program. You could check these and just go ahead and go through them, you know, if you really don't have anything else going on. Once again, tons of free shifting stars here, and that material right here, oh my goodness, that's amazing. You get more of those, and more of these materials as well. Oh, this is incredible. Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, you can do that. Make sure you do that. But anyways, that's everything that I wanted to go over, just as a beginner's guide to get you started, get the ball rolling. Once again, you can emulate it, or you can take bits and pieces and apply it to your own. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below if this was helpful. Also, let me know what you would like me to cover next, and I'll see you all in the next one. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody. You call me further. I'll see you all next one. Bye, guys.